Oh, I hope there's something usable in here. A lot of the stuff in here is damp, but this still looks dry enough to wear. I'll just take one of these. Let's see. A handful of worthless documents and a candy bar. The pebbles are much easier to carry inside this bag. And now for my attempt at a new bag-throwing record. I'm a genius. Let's see if there's anything useful in here. Rats, no glucose, just a couple of bandages. Looks like I'll have to think of something else. There are warning notices on it. Flammable and corrosive. There's still some liquid at the bottom of the barrel. The car battery contains a strong acid. If I pour just a little on this lock, that should do the trick. Yes, it worked. I've always wanted to have a go at firing one of these. Luckily, there's a pair of insulated pliers in the toolbox. Okay, here goes. The power's off. If I tear up these documents, they should burn quite well. Up the pole, down the pole, up the pole, down the pole. Who am I, Tarzan? Yay, it worked. The documents are on fire. The power's off. If I bend this sheet of metal a bit and then lodge it between those teeth, there, it worked. Let's hope this doesn't result in a high jet of flame. I don't need a bad hair day on top of everything else. Great. Now I have a lovely fire going that should burn for some time, hopefully. Let's mummify this. Good idea. That way I should be able to get some reasonably clean water. I could hang this bucket of water on the hat stand. All right, that's what I'll do then. So, what's on the menu today? Good idea. But I'll pour away some of this water first. I'm sure I don't need that much for this little candy bar. There, that's better. Soup au chocolat. This recipe may get me my own cooking show someday. The candy bar has melted. I can take the bucket down now. It will probably still taste a bit salty, but in this case, the end justifies the means. Here, drink this. It will help.
Ah, thank you so much. I really needed that.
You're welcome. Looks like I've taken the lead in our little life-saving contest. You owe me.
Yes, you're probably right. You'll want some answers to your questions, I suppose.
Well, I've been robbed, knocked out, shot at, and nearly drowned. I'd say a few answers are the least I can expect, wouldn't you?
Right. Let's start at the beginning. First, my name is David Corell. I'm a vicar in Berlin, and I investigate sects and the dangers they pose on behalf of the church.
Pleased to meet you. Nina Kalinkov.
Very nice to meet you. So, as I said, I deal with certain associations outside of the church. Some time ago, I came across a new, very aggressive sect by the name of Puritas Cordis.
The sect of that televangelist, Pat Shelton?
Right on. Apparently, Puritas Cordis believes in the prophecies of Zandona, an obscure 17th century French prophet.
Something along the lines of Nostradamus?
Yes, but the prophecies of Nostradamus were really vague and quite open to interpretation. Zandona, on the other hand, predicted a series of very real disasters. They were supposed to happen in a specific order, culminating in the apocalypse.
Zandona. Now, where have I heard that name before?
I tried to look him up in old church archives. Not very successfully, though.
You mean there's nothing at all about Zandona?
Not much. At least not anymore. The central registers are missing several tomes of records from this period. And I didn't have much luck in other archives either. Practically all records that might have contained some information about Zandona have vanished into thin air. Then, 2 weeks ago, a centuries-old parchment surfaced in Cambridge. A letter from a nun mentioning Zandona. The very letter you're carrying right now.
Ah, so that's what these people on the ship were looking for?
I think so, yes. Anyone who possesses it is definitely in danger.
Just my luck.
The last person who had the letter before you was my colleague, Patterson. He was going to follow some clues from the letter in northern France. He was the one who slipped you the letter at the harbor. He was probably being followed, and when he noticed, he passed the letter on to you. Not a moment too soon. May the Lord have mercy on his soul.
And now I'm stuck with it.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm so sorry that you got dragged into this. I witnessed the so-called accidents at the harbor. I realized he must have given someone the letter, so I boarded the ship in his place. I wanted to make sure the letter didn't fall into the wrong hands, and that its new owner was safe.
People are being murdered for an old letter? Could its contents really be that important?
Ashford, England, Anno Domini 1681. Now that my grey life is moving towards its equally grey closure, I can finally muster the courage to write down what I saw. My hands are still shaking today when I think of all the poor souls of Gatineau. I will never forget them. Screaming women, burning houses, crying children. A flaming inferno. Just like he predicted. Just like every single one of the disasters he foretold. This Zandona, he may be a man of faith, he may be a prophet, but is he also a man of God? There is no sense in musing about that now. I have failed. The key lay within my hands. The key that could have halted all the looming disasters and changed the course of events. The burning mountains, the great flood, the apocalypse. Perhaps it was up to me to prevent them. But my faith was weak. All those years, the key lay well hidden within the ruins of Gatineau, and the saint who showed me the way appeared to me in a dream every night. But my fear was too great, and I never returned there. I have failed, and therefore, all I have left is hope. The hope that those brothers and sisters who follow may not succumb to the phantoms of fear, doubt, and weakness, as I did. The hope that they may boldly take the only path that is still open, strong in faith and fearless in action. I pray to God that it might be thus. Otherwise, the last of the prophecies will come true as well, and our fates will be sealed. May the Lord be with you. May you find the strength to take the key and try to stem the tide of Zandona's prophecies. Forgive me, Sister Elise.
That doesn't sound good.
Not good? Sister Elise basically announced that the apocalypse is almost upon us.
Oh, come on. That seems a bit exaggerated.
Have you already forgotten the flood wave then?
How could I?
See? And what did the letter say? It mentioned a flood wave, didn't it?
That could be a coincidence.
And by mere coincidence, some people are leaving dead bodies in their wake just to get their hands on this letter?
Hmm.
And by mere coincidence, During these last few weeks, a major part of the very disasters that Zandona foretold happened one after the other, in the exact order of the prophecy.
Which is...
First pestilence and disease, just like the epidemic in Western Africa that still has millions of people living as fugitives.
So you think that was the first harbinger? What next?
Next, the punishment of the greedy.
The burning oil fields in the Middle East leading up to a severe economic crisis?
Probably, and then a war.
There are plenty of those to choose from. But the most gruesome is probably the civil war in South America, triggered by the collapse of the financial system.
Earthquake.
Japan.
Burning mountains.
The volcanic eruptions in Southeast Asia.
Followed by a flood.
Which we've seen for ourselves. You're beginning to scare me.
I am sorry, but this is what Zandona's prophecy says. And it is also what the Puritas Cordis sect is preaching. I have no idea what the key might be that Sister Elise mentions in her letter, but she seems to think that the prophecies can be stopped by using this key.
How can anyone stop a prophecy?
Beats me, but I know this much. If there is even the slightest possibility that all those disasters may actually be followed by the apocalypse, we have a real problem on our hands. And if there is even a remote possibility of stopping the apocalypse, or at least taking some appropriate preventive measures, then we should definitely make use of it.
Okay, you're right. I can't and won't really believe that a bunch of old prophecies are about to come true. But looking down from a cloud afterwards and saying, if only I had, doesn't seem too tempting either. What do you suggest?
We need to go to Gatineau.
Where exactly is that?
The place vanished from the history books centuries ago. But a few years ago, they discovered the ruins of a small town that they think is Gatineau. And if there is anything left to find there, we must do so before anyone else does. Before it's too late.
Then we should head there immediately. There's another section of beach over that way. Maybe we'll find something there that will help us get away from here. I'm going to need your help, though. It's a rather steep descent.
That should be all right. I'm still feeling sort of shaky, but I guess I'll be up to lending you a hand for a little climb. When you want to come back, just let me know. I'll help you get up here then.
Great. I'm going to take a look around.
You do that. Maybe you can somehow fix the vote over there. And it would be good to know where on earth we are.
It looks a bit tattered, but you never know. There might still be something usable inside. A map. It looks about as tattered as the tank bag, but I guess that was to be expected. The cardboard is totally soaked. I can't make any use of it. A packing slip. Looks like someone ordered a load of truck alternators. Any hope of their delivery seems to have been well and truly shattered. I'll never be able to move the entire landslide, but I'll just dig near these scraps of packaging. Maybe the contents are still around here too. A fan blade from a truck's alternator. Looks like my digging has actually turned up something useful. I'm sure I'll find some instrument of torture here that will force the suitcase to reveal its contents. What have we got here? This suit doesn't look too bad. And there's a digital camera here, too. I should make a habit of looting stranded suitcases. I can't make any use of it in this state. Without a front wheel, the motorcycle is resting on the ground. There's no way I can push it through the soft sand like this. Too bad it's been wrecked. It probably got washed away by the flood wave. It must have been a fine machine, but now it's just scrap metal, except for the engine. I'll just wind this hose around here. I've fixed plenty of motorcycles before, but this is a bit different. A wise man once said, "If the boat will not come to the motorcycle will go to the boat." Yes, that might do the trick. I'll remove this engine and attach it to the boat. Off to work. A perfect fit. Great idea. I can use that to lift the boat. I'll go get some more of those life vests. Now it looks like a hovercraft. A nearly perfect makeshift propeller. My training as a motorcycle mechanic has proved useful once again. Look, I found you some nice dry clothes. Well, nice might be stretching it a bit, but at least they are dry.
The way you are fussing over me, you would make a great nun.
That's a bit of an overstatement. You'd better get changed. I won't look, I promise.
This is much better.
Could you pull me up?
Sure, no problem.
The camera's optical and digital zoom functions are really handy. I can even read the place names from that signpost on the camera's display. The map shows the same towns I saw written on the signpost, including Gatineau, the place David Carell spoke of. It's a bit more than a stone's throw away, but easy enough to find. We just have to follow the Seine upstream. How are you doing?
I'm still feeling rather weak, but I'll be all right.
I think we have everything we need now. Our current location, a map to get us to our destination, a more or less intact boat, and dry clothes.
Yes, I think we can head for Gatineau now.
Let's hope we find the clues we're looking for there.
I certainly hope so, too.
It's pretty dark in here. I can't see a thing, but at least I'm inside the temple, which means I'm closer to rescuing Sam.